In ZBrush, there are lots of ways to get textures and patterns onto your models. Let's look at one way that's not so well known. It's great for adding very organic, natural-looking detail by combining the surface noise feature with a brush. So let's take a look. Okay, so we've got our model here, and let's say we want to put some texture or detail on the surface of it. One way to do it would be with the surface palette here under the tool palette. And we just want to turn on noise here just to see what this looks like. And then we can edit this, and we could change the scale of the noise, for example. Hit OK. And that looks fine and all, but it applies the noise evenly over the entire surface. What if we want to focus that on specific areas just where we sculpt with a brush? So to see how to do that, let's turn off noise in here. Close that. And what I'm going to do is go under the brush menu. Let's come down to surface and turn on noise here. Now it looks like the same thing, but it's actually different. This is actually only going to work through a brush. So one thing we can do here is change the scale, for example. And what we can also do is add a noise plug. So this is different patterns and procedural textures that we could apply to this. So let's add, let's say, an erosion and click OK. And it's going to be a little bit hard to see the erosion, so let's increase the plugin scale on that, actually. Let's see, and we might need to increase the strength as well to really get a sense of... There we go, now we're kind of seeing something. You might want to play with the plugin scale and the strength before you can really see what you're going to get. So let's get something that looks like about that scale. Let's bring the strength actually up to a positive. Let's make that pretty strong. Something else we can do is mix basic noise. So what this does is it's combining the noise. So if we crank this all the way to the right, what we're going to have is only the basic noise that comes with this plugin. However, if we go all the way to the left to 0, 100% of the texture we get is going to be from the plugin and not from the noise. But I like a little bit of my basic noise mixed in there too. Okay, looks good. Let's go ahead and click OK. And now what I can do is start sculpting on the model. So let's change the draw size here a little bit, hit X to turn off symmetry, and we can just start sculpting on some of this noise. And this looks pretty cool. Actually, there's one thing I want to change, something to be more appropriate for this uncurable skin disease. Let's get a material that's a little bit more grayscale. There we go. Now we got it. So now I can go sculpting that detail exactly where I want it to go, and it's going to have a nice fall off to the rest of the skin that's unaffected by this disease. Of course, there's lots of other settings you could play with. Let's go up to brush and we'll edit these. And let's say we want to change this noise plugin from the erosion, and let's say snake skin, and click OK. We can change the scale of this, something a little bit more appropriate. Looks good, click OK. And we could also sculpt on different patterns that come with that noise plugin. And I'll just undo that because I kind of like the look of just the skin disease by itself. Okay, so there's lots to play with. Go ahead and experiment with it on your own. But this technique works great whenever you want to apply noise to just specific parts of a model. And it lets you apply it in a very free form manner.